Hi everybody, welcome back to Simply Cerisa, and as promised in my last video, I am going to show you how to make my version of homemade iced coffee. So if you're interested in this type of video, keep watching. Hi everyone again, and welcome to my channel. My name is Cerisa, and if you are new to this channel, make sure you hit like and subscribe before this video is over. We'd love to have you join part of the friends and family group here. And as promised, today I am going to show you my take on homemade iced coffee. Now, I did find a recipe online. I have to give credit where credit is due. I used basically the pioneer woman's method, give or take, but of course you can't really copy everyone to a T, and I like to kind of make things a little bit more my own. I like to make them per the size that I need for my household as well. So first things first, we need to have some sort of tools to make this coffee. Now, you can totally MacGyver this. It's pretty much what I did, and I just dated myself by saying MacGyver, but that's okay. The first thing that I purchased was coffee. I purchased 10 ounces of pre-ground coffee. Any of your favorite coffee will do. And then I just took a few ounces out, and then I dumped the whole thing of ground coffee into my container. The next thing you're gonna need is water. Now, if you have really good water, then you're golden, that's fine. What I decided to do was purchase a gallon of water, mainly because I wanted to reuse the actual gallon-sized container to store my coffee in the refrigerator later. Next thing you're gonna need is some sort of a container that is going to hold your pound of coffee and your gallon of water. Now, I used this. I had a Brita filtered water pitcher that I wasn't currently using, and it was in really good shape, so it worked perfectly to be able to use that, but any gallon-sized container is gonna work for you. Now, what I did was I couldn't quite figure out my filtration system and what was gonna work best. I'm also a giant klutz. So I thought, why not use my old school coffee maker on the off setting, but I will use the basket filter and just pour my finished coffee product through the filter and put it into my little coffee pot. And then it would be easier to dump a little bit at a time back into my container that I want to store it in. So I used my old school coffee pot as my filtration system. Last but not least, I also chose to use one of these bad boys because, again, I'm a klutz, and I could have technically poured my coffee from the pot into my gallon-sized container, but this just made life a lot easier. I was able to hold that on there and get it directly in here without any spillage. So I have 10 ounces of ground coffee. I'm going to break that down into 8 ounces and put 8 ounces in here. And then I got 1 gallon of purified water that I'm going to soak in it. And I purposely bought this because I want to pour the finished product of coffee when I'm completely done with this to be able to store it in my refrigerator. It's supposed to store for several weeks. That is a lot of coffee down there. So I poured that in, and I'm going to add the water now. I suspect I'm not going to get a full gallon in because I have to make room for the coffee for a bit. I'll mix it in though and get as much as I possibly can in. Looks like I'm going to have to mix it really quickly because it's dry on the top, if you can see that. It looks like topsoil right now. Okay, once I mix it though, it kind of just gets into the water, so I should be able to get almost a full gallon in. Getting close. Okay, I'm probably gonna stop there. I'm just a few ounces short of a full gallon, but I don't want to overdo it in this. And that's supposed to sit covered for 8 hours. To be continued. I couldn't think of a better filtration system, so what I did was I actually put a coffee filter into my old-fashioned coffee pot, and the whole thing's off, so it's cold. And I am just pouring my unfiltered coffee that has soaked overnight into the basket, and it actually seems to be working okay. So we'll see how that filter system works out. End result is, as I was using the coffee pot, it seemed to start going really slow with the paper filters, and so I remembered that I had one of these reusable metal mesh holders, and that sped up the process considerably. So I was able to do that and get everything through, and then as you can see, we did lose quite a bit of liquid in the grounds. Now I did put all the grounds in and I pushed and pushed, but we still did lose quite a bit of liquid, so I definitely did not get a gallon of coffee out of the gallon of water, but that's to be expected a little bit. I still got quite a bit of coffee, and I'm going to let it cool in the fridge before I do a taste test. So as you can see, the process does take a little bit of time, and of course the 8 or so hours that you're gonna need to let it sit, which I did overnight, and that wasn't a problem at all. But for cost and for taste, this was hands down my favorite drink, and I don't really see myself purchasing iced coffee in the near future ever again. I think that for the cost being about $6 for my coffee, and now I don't have to even purchase water because I do have a water filter system, and now I have my little jug. Then, you know, for $6 to get almost a gallon of iced coffee that's going to sit in my refrigerator and be ready for me to use at my discretion, I kind of love that idea. And you know, for the eco-friendliness of it, you really can't beat it as well. And then I decided that we all need a few good, really delicious, healthy iced coffee recipes. So stay tuned. My part 3 of my video is coming really soon. I'm gonna show you all the fun things that I add to my iced coffees depending on the day and the time of day to kind of kick up things that I need based on my appetite and based on my dietary needs. So until next time, see you soon.